We're just losing it completely. Everything is inside out, upside down, nothing makes sense. It's just freaking insane. I mean, when did the world start spinning like that? When was the last time you saw a doctor? Did they listen to you? Did you actually have a conversation with your doctor? Did they ask you questions? Did they touch you? Did they visit you? Or did they just prescribe you something? Everything I want to say is upside down, so I thought this was the best intro I could do, because I think we need to get ready to live in a world that is completely upside down, inside out, and going nuts. Why don't they care? When did doctors stop caring about healing diseases? And my doctor's appointment today was another proof of why we cannot rely on medicine anymore. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I'm completely speechless. It's like everything is completely backwards. I mean, what the hell? When did the world start spinning and losing control? What is it? What is it about humans that we just, I don't know, we have no idea of what we're doing? I have a question that is burning me quite a bit, and this is, are there still doctors in this world? And I'm not just meaning wherever you live, but is there still doctors? Like doctors that practice medicine, that are interested in patient? Because to me, it really does not look like it. For personal experience and from what I hear, we're doctors. Where do they go? It's gonna be a little bit of a rant. Sorry. Hi there, this is Andrea from the Carnivore Chronicles, and for those that are visiting this channel for the first time, I was diagnosed with 3 incurable and potentially fatal illnesses, and this is why I took my health in my own hands. The way I did it was by eliminating everything from my diet that was hurting me in one way or the other. What does that mean? That means that in the last 9 months, I took away so much from my diet that I was left with ruminant meat, butter and ghee, some cream, tea, coffee, and salt. That's it. It's all I've been eating now for over a month, and I've been carnivore for over 8 months, almost 9. And my doctor's appointment today was another proof of why we cannot rely on medicine anymore. Doctors are supposed to cure or treat illnesses. They don't. They barely listen to you. And they're not interested in healing. Doctors are not interested in healing anymore at all. Going to the doctor today and listening to what they say is probably equivalent as playing Russian roulette, but instead of putting 1 bullet in your gun, you actually have 5 bullets, just to make sure that you're actually going to get that bullet, because that's what going to the doctor today means. Why? Look around. I'll give you a short recap. 9 months ago, I was bedridden sick. Then I radically changed my diet because that was the only thing I had left to do. I had tried everything else under the sun. I had tried every possible diet. I had tried every possible supplement, every possible alternative medicine, and I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. The only thing I had not tried to do was to take out of my life everything that everyone deemed super healthy, super food. Veggies. The fun, interesting, and also scary part of this journey I started was to find out within a few days how much better I started to feel. And within a few weeks, I reversed things like fibromyalgia, my anxiety, my depression, my insomnia, and the list goes on. And there's this, and there's that, and there's that, and there's blah, 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 blah. I reversed literally everything within the first few months except for my kidneys. After 9 months, I don't even remember how it is to be autistic, besides my neurodivergent way of reasoning and probably relating to people. But I could not reverse my kidney disease. 5 months into my carnivore diet, I had a biopsy, and this biopsy showed that I had, on top of my first 2 really rare, really incurable diseases, I had a third one, which is actually called 3-CGMF, which is 3-component glomerulomyeloproliferative fibromas. I know if you follow me, this name is longer, but this was the original name. I don't know why they changed it. 3CG is an autoimmune disease where my component 3, instead of helping fight off diseases in my body, actually attacks my body, and specifically it attacks my kidneys, and it gets stuck in the glomerulus where we have the filters, and there those glomerulus slowly die, which makes my kidneys slowly die, and obviously my body slowly die, because, you know, it's a consequence of it. Talking to a friend of mine today, she said, if you were my horse, I would have to put you down by now. I had to agree. I had to agree, because there's days where I actually feel the same way, that it's not like I really want to put myself down, but I almost feel like I should. It's hard. It's not just hard to be sick. It's not just hard to feel really depleted, to feel so sick sometimes that you cannot do absolutely anything in your day. You feel useless. You feel like you have no reason to exist. But it's also you feel lonely, because doctors are not doctors anymore. I don't have anyone to rely on for this. Even my nephrologist, which is the cutest guy that I found in all my doctor odyssey, he hasn't even talked to me about symptoms, about anything that we can do about this disease. I get it, he was in shock, because despite his age, in his probably 60s, he's never had a patient with this disease, because it's so rare. He has barely read about it. I get it, you're kind of in shock, but I'm having this, and you are the doctor. I should not come into your studio and tell you what this implies for me. But that was actually the case. How I found out that I have this disease is just because I'm stubborn. As a neuroscientist, I'm curious, and as a human being, I have lived in my body, well, my whole life, you know, which is what probably every human being on the planet has done. So usually you would expect humans to know about their health better than anybody else. But nowadays, doctors imply that they know what you feel a lot better. And what you feel has to be something that fits in a medication box. If they have a medication for what you're telling them, they'll be happy and they'll prescribe it to you. If what you're describing to them is something that there's no medication for, they're lost. I mean, do you see their face? They're lost. They're completely lost. They have no idea what you're talking about. They don't know how to address you. And worse than all of this, they just want you to go. They just want you to leave their office. Go away. Go find someone else. It's okay. It doesn't matter. So 2 years ago, I went to my family doctor because I had some private blood work done, and it resulted that I had a very low kidney function. It was like at 65. And my kidney function the year before was at 85. So I was a little bit confused, and I asked him, can we investigate this? Can we see why? And it was at 70. Not normal for a quote-unquote healthy person to be at 70 in your kidney function. And that's where it gets creepy. He started telling me that, well, private labs are not really that good, so my kidney function is not that bad. It's still not in that range, so we'll just ignore it, especially because I'm a middle-aged woman, and so it's probably all these hormones going ups and downs, and let's just leave it. Well, the scared part of me was relieved, I have to admit, that he didn't give it too much weight. The scientist in me was freaked out, because I know that it's not good if your kidney function starts dropping for reasons that you don't understand. Plus, my urine was okay. I didn't have any proteinuria. There was no proteins in my urine. So you're like, doesn't matter. And obviously, it matters for me because it was my life. As a private human being, I could not just go out and get more blood tests, get more blood work done. Even my insurance needs to have a reason for that. I went back after 6 months. I had another test, and my kidney function had dropped again. And even now, my family doctor, which I can't choose because they're assigned to you, said, you're a woman, you're middle-aged, it doesn't really matter, it doesn't really change anything.
Hi there. This is an upside down moment.
Lucky me, I was too healthy to bother him to look into what was wrong. Despite all my symptoms, I had tons of pains and I was already expressing lots of metabolic symptoms. Now, I know that on this planet, there's a lot of brain dead people walking around. Kids are getting sick at the age of 5, 4, 6, 10. They already have diabetes, metabolic syndrome, and everything else. So apparently we have a normalized sickness, but I am not that type of person. I never was. I am an explorer, I'm a scientist, I have memory. I don't think I'm the only 50-year-old woman on this planet that can look back and remember that we do not come from a sick history. I mean, we're mammals. We're meant to be strong, healthy, energetic, curious, working. We're not. In this world, no one is working anymore. No one can think anymore. So I guess that when I go to the doctor, I'm a rare case because I tell them I know this is not normal because it doesn't feel normal. They look at me like, huh? But your tests are okay. Whatever. I tried to make it clear that that was not normal, but it didn't spike any interest. So nothing. Zero interest. Zero. Absolute zero interest. So I went to a nephrologist, a private nephrologist, and I brought all my tests that showed, thank God, that when I still lived in the States, when I had all my surgeries, my kidney function was fine, and now my kidney function was horrendous. And it took 2 months to get the results of that biopsy, and that biopsy, boom, okay, I have this super rare, super incurable autoimmune disease. What's next? Well, I'm already on disability for my toss, but I still need to bring my documents to my family doctor. I want it to be in my records that I have this disease. First of all, because I don't want them to shoot me up with anti-inflammatory that would just like boom, make my kidneys explode. And thank God I haven't taken them in years because I know how bad they are. So good for me. I want people to know that if something really bad happens, if someone has to call an ambulance, it's in my record. So I went to my family doctor. Fast forward, I'm in the studio today and I say, I wanted to bring you this so that you can put my diagnosis in my record. He looks at it and I say, yeah, I have a really rare and pretty bad disease. Not that rare. I'm like, really? How so? Do you even know what it is? My wife got really pissed at that point and said, well, her nephrologist at 60 has never met anyone that had this disease, which apparently that shut him up a little bit. But my thing is, I'm at the doctor's, my doctor, he's my assigned doctor, and he's been my doctor for the last almost 4 years. So you think there's some sort of report, right? No, obviously not. There's no report whatsoever. He looks at it, he gives it back to me and is like, well, I can't do anything about that. I'm like, okay. Can you at least write the diagnosis in so that if something happens, it's in my records? Well, you have to go to the hospital to do that. Okay, can you please explain to me what to do? Because I have never done this before and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So he kind of explains that I have to go to pretty much have the documents scanned so they get into my record. That was it. But then he's like, I can write your diagnosis in your record. Okay. So I'm like, And And what? Okay, well, I don't know what I expected. But probably did expect something because I felt like shit afterwards. Maybe I expected him to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry that you have this disease. Or, oh wow, that is actually a really rare disease. Wow, how are you feeling? No, he didn't. He didn't ask me how I was feeling. He didn't say he was sorry. He did not show any compassion at all. He actually didn't do anything. He didn't set up an appointment, see if things are under control, set up, monthly schedule to check how things are going. Nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. If you want my take, he had no idea what to do with me. Like, zero. I think he was lost as a needle in a haystack. Except he was the needle and I was the haystack. Or medicine was the haystack. Either or. And I keep seeing these videos on YouTube, and there's people I even personally interact with that are reversing MS, lupus, kidney disease, cancers, all sorts of cancers, leukemias, fibromyalgia, obesity, diabetes, Parkinson's. And the list goes on and 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 on. There's just so many diseases that are reversed on the carnivore or in an even stricter lion diet. They go to the doctor, like just Carrie Man. I just saw his videos a few days ago. That was also insane. He's had a problem with his heart his whole life since birth, and it's gone, and the doctor didn't care. The doctor did not care. Like Rebecca from the Cabana Chronicles is seeing her doctor, her neurologist, for her MS, and she was almost living on a wheelchair on her own. Now she's walking around, restoring her house, doing all her stuff. Her neurologist doesn't care. My hematologist, when my blood work went better from the leukemia type of JAK2 mutation, he didn't care. He just said, well, I don't really care what you do, but just keep doing it. Why don't they care? When did doctors stop caring about healing diseases? When did doctor become candy dispenser? Like, the one that had amusement parks where you put in the coin, you turn it, and you get a candy? Because that's what they do. You go to the doctor, you say a bunch of symptoms. If they fit in the box, you turn it, you get your candy. And they say, okay, see you next time when the prescription expires. When did they take the humans out of the doctors? Because it doesn't look like, if you open their brain, it looks like there's nothing in there. They don't care. Doctors are supposed to heal diseases, but they don't even care if we heal our own diseases. They don't. They don't want to hear about it. But why? I just don't understand. I just don't understand. For someone as curious as me, that I can't live if I don't find an answer. Saying, can you come up with any way? Can we create a worldwide engaged patients committee that shows doctors that there is actually real research out there that shows that illnesses can be cured? If you have any idea on how we can set something like that up, we really need to do something, because we're dying. As a human species, we're dying. And we're not just dying out of the greed of, pharmaceuticals, agriculturals, whatever. We're also dying because of the stupidity, the sheer ignorance and stupidity of the people that should be on the front line. If you know a doctor that does not fall into these category, please let me know. If you could come up with any idea on how to reverse this horrendous trend, please let me know too, because I need to get some hope. Because I have an autoimmune disease that is really bad, dangerous, and you know, and I don't have a plan, like a doctor plan. I don't have a follow-up. I don't have anything. I'll see my nephrologist next week, but just to look at my new blood work that I've already looked at, and he'll be even more confused because except what is really related to the kidneys, everything else went back to normal, and he'll freak out. I know it. I know it because he already did last time. I'm left with no plan except doing what I've been doing. Keep my lion diet. 4 weeks, 5 weeks in, it's doing good. I do have better energy. My energy is slightly improving, but if I look back at 2 weeks, it's really improved. 2 weeks ago, I could not get off from the ground. I could not walk. Now I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually even doing stuff around the house sometimes, which is awesome. So it's working. The lion diet is working, and I will not listen to a doctor. It's just sad. If you know of any doctor that is happy to know that you healed and is happy to know how you healed, write his name here down here because that doctor needs to be shared, okay? See you soon.